Why does a country built on the most active seismic belt on Earth worship a volcano as its sacred mountain? Japan sits where 4 tectonic plates grind together, producing roughly 1,500 earthquakes every year. Yet its highest peak, a volcano that last erupted in 1707, has been painted, climbed, and revered for centuries. The answer to how a nation turned geological danger into its defining symbol begins with one mountain rising above the clouds, framed by a pagoda built for peace. From Fuji slopes, Japan stretches north to Hokkaido, its northernmost main island, receiving some of the heaviest snowfall in the world. Cold air sweeps across the Sea of Japan from December through March, burying valley towns and coating mountainsides. Niseko, on the island's western side, averages 15 meters of snow a year, so light and dry that skiers travel from across the globe to ride through silent birch forests. At the coast, Otaru preserves stone warehouses from its days as a herring fishing hub in the late 1800s. In the mountains of Nagano Prefecture, Japanese macaques survive winters below freezing by soaking in natural hot springs. These snow monkeys are the northernmost non-human primates on Earth, living at 850 meters in Jiko-Kudani Monkey Park, where volcanic vents heat the water they bathe in. South of the park, the landscape shifts to the waterfalls and lakes of Nikko. Kegon Falls drops 97 meters down a sheer cliff, ranking among Japan's 3 most celebrated waterfalls. Lake Chuzenji above it formed 20,000 years ago when Mount Nantai erupted. Kegon Falls still thunders 97 meters down its sheer cliff as the highlands of Nikko open into gentler terrain. Senjo-Gahara, a marshland at 1,400 meters in Nikko National Park, formed when lava from Mount Nantai blocked an ancient river valley. Today, the marsh draws hikers across boardwalks through golden grass and shallow streams that mirror the autumn colors on the mountainside above. The same volcanic forces that shaped this landscape also heat the hot springs scattered through these valleys, drawing travelers to waters the shoguns once restricted. The Kinugawa River flows through Tochigi Prefecture, its gorge lined with autumn foliage and hot spring inns that have served travelers since the Edo period. Even within Tokyo's city limits, forested mountains rise above the urban grid. Mount Takao stands 599 meters tall in Hachioji, and more than 2.5 million people climb its trails each year. In autumn, the slopes turn red and gold as maple forests shift color. The mountain has been a religious site for centuries, with a temple founded in 744 along its main trail. Beyond Mount Takao, older ranges unfold across Honshu. In the Chugoku region, Mount Daisen rises 1,729 meters, the highest peak in the area, sacred to Shugendo ascetics since the Heian period. Pilgrims have climbed its slopes for 1,000 years. East of here, in the Japanese Alps of Nagano, a castle built in the late 16th century still stands in original wooden construction. One of only 12 such survivors in Japan, its black exterior earned it the name Crow Castle, reflected in a moat where swans glide past autumn leaves. On the Sea of Japan coast, Kanazawa Castle was the seat of the Maeda clan, the wealthiest feudal lords of the Edo period, whose domain produced more rice than any other. Unlike most Japanese cities, Kanazawa escaped wartime bombing, so its castle grounds, samurai quarters, and tea house districts survive intact. Cherry trees bloom along the stone walls each spring, softening the watchtowers. Farther south, a castle built by Toyotomi Hideyoshi in 1583 marks a city built on commerce. The keep dates from a 1931 reconstruction. The Motoyasu River flows past the skeletal remains of the atomic bomb dome in Hiroshima. It is the only structure left standing near the hypocenter of the atomic bombing on August 6, 1945, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, established in 1954, surrounds the dome with monuments to those killed. Across the city, Hiroshima Castle, originally built in 1589 by Mori Teramoto, was destroyed in the blast and rebuilt in 1958. Today, the city's neighborhoods climb toward the mountains that ring the urban grid. Mountains press against Hiroshima's neighborhoods. West of here, Kyoto was Japan's imperial capital from 794 to 1868, holding 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites within its valley. Daigoji, founded in 874, is one, a head temple of the Daigo school of Shingon Buddhism. Its pavilions sit on rocky islands in ponds surrounded by maple forests turning crimson in autumn, their colors reflected in the still water below. South of Daigoji, the head shrine of roughly 30,000 Inari shrines climbs through approximately 10,000 vermilion torii gates donated since the Edo period. Kinkaku-ji, the Golden Pavilion, was built in 1397 as a retirement villa for Shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. Its top 2 stories are covered in pure gold leaf, reflected in a pond designed for that purpose. In spring, cherry blossoms transform Kyoto's temples and railway lines, peaking in early April. South of Kyoto, Nara was the capital even earlier, from 710 to 784. Nara Park covers 660 hectares and shelters more than 1,200 sika deer, designated as natural monuments and regarded as messengers of the gods. The sika deer of Nara have roamed the park for centuries, protected by a belief that they carry messages from the gods of nearby Kasuga Shrine. In autumn, fallen maple leaves carpet the paths where deer forage. Farther east, Tokyo's oldest temple predates the city itself. Sensō-ji, founded in 645, is dedicated to Kannon, the bodhisattva of compassion. A shopping street called Nakamise-dori, lined with stalls selling rice crackers and souvenirs, leads from the outer gate to the main hall. The temple's 5-story pagoda stands beside it, painted vermilion red. From Sensō-ji in Asakusa, the city spreads to the Imperial Palace, built on the site of Edo Castle, the largest fortress in Japan during the Tokugawa shogunate from 1603 to 1867. The palace is the primary residence of the emperor, its moats and stone walls following the original castle layout. Ginkgo trees line the moats in autumn, golden leaves reflected in the still water. The palace grounds cover the heart of Old Edo. Farther west, one of the world's busiest pedestrian intersections handles up to 3,000 people per signal change. At Shibuya, the crossing empties and fills every 2 minutes. East of Shibuya, Tokyo Skytree rises 634 meters above the Sumida River, the tallest tower in the world. It opened in 2012 as a broadcasting and observation structure. The height was chosen for a pun. 634 reads as Musashi, the old name for the region. South of Skytree, Tokyo Tower stands 333 meters tall, completed in 1958, and painted international orange and white. Modeled on the Eiffel Tower, it was the city's tallest structure until Skytree surpassed it. Odaiba, an artificial island in Tokyo Bay, was built as a fort in the 1850s to protect the city from naval attack. Today it holds tarks and a replica of the Statue of Liberty, installed in 1998. The Rainbow Bridge, spanning 798 meters across the bay, links Odaiba to the mainland. Inland, at Ochanomizu Station, the JR Chuo-Sobu Line and Tokyo Metro Marunouchi Line intersect on elevated tracks above the Kanda River. Japan's railway network carries over 22 billion passengers each year, the highest per capita rail usage of any nation. At Ochanomizu, trains cross the Kanda River on elevated tracks. Osaka, Japan's third-largest city, sits at the head of Osaka Bay on the inland sea. With 2.7 million people, it grew as a merchant city, earning the nickname Japan's Kitchen for its rice trade role during the Edo period. The skyline rises behind elevated highways threading through the urban grid, and business towers reflect in the old castle moats wrapping the city center. Osaka's commercial energy drove Japan's industrial growth, and the port still handles cargo shipped across Asia. Kobe, with 1.5 million people, is one of Japan's largest ports. The Kobe Port Tower, opened in 1963, marks the harbor with its red lattice. Across the inland sea on Kyushu, Saga Prefecture holds about 830,000 people in its rural northwest. Saga is known for its porcelain, including arita ware, first produced in the early 1600s after a Korean potter found kaolin clay in the hills, and karatsu ceramics, fired in coastal kilns for 4 centuries. In spring, cherry trees bloom above fields of rapeseed across the Saga countryside. Shikoku is Japan's smallest main island, with 3.8 million people, connected to Honshu by 3 bridge systems. In Kochi Prefecture, on its Pacific coast, the Shimanto River flows 196 kilometers without a single dam, earning the name the last clear stream of Japan. Its waters run turquoise over boulders through forested gorges. Far south, 1,900 kilometers from Tokyo, Ishigaki Island is part of the Yaeyama Islands, Japan's southernmost inhabited chain. Kabira Bay on Ishigaki's coast ranks among Japan's top scenic views, its turquoise lagoon dotted with green limestone islets. Ishigaki Island sits 1,900 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, ringed by one of the largest coral reef systems in the world. Japan spans from this tropical south to the snow country of Hokkaido, a chain of islands held together by one mountain and one flower. The cherry blossom, sakura, blooms for only a week or 2 each spring across more than 200 varieties of cherry trees. It is Japan's unofficial national flower, and its brief bloom, like Mount Fuji, turns the country's geological impermanence into something people plan their year around.